I'm Lauren Whitehurst. I'm a certified personal trainer and certified nutrition coach.
Hi, I'm Sunny Lippincott. I'm a certified professional life coach and a certified brain health professional.
We also have Angela Salyers, who is a licensed professional counselor, and the three of us together make up
Whole Life Vitality.
We teach whole life vitality of the mind, body, and soul, bringing the physical, emotional, and spiritual together for whole life wellness. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Okay. I feel like every single time I tell you how excited I am, but if you've ever done Enneagram stuff, I'm an Enneagram 7. And when I say I'm excited, I'm legitimately excited.
That's why we're friends. I love how excited she is all the time. It helps me. It helps me be better.
It helps lift people up, right? Okay. But today we're talking about something that is it's just a game changer, especially for this time of year when it's so easy to get stuck in our heads. Mm-hmm. It's so easy to spiral out is kind of what I call it, where you just, you start to question everything. You start to overthink everything. Family gathering is coming up and, oh my gosh, what if this person is there? What if I have to sit next to this person? What if we talk about this? What if this doesn't work out? What if that happens? And I just spiral down this rabbit trail of just insanity.
Or I have to be with my family.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't ever want to be with their family. Mm-hmm. They have to be with their family. Or this one gets me because I said it on the last podcast, but I love Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday. And so I don't do any Christmas until after Thanksgiving.
Same,
I don't decorate. I don't listen. I don't watch Christmas. I don't buy presents until after. And that's how, growing up, that's you like the Black Friday thing was real growing up. Okay.
Did you see the Black Friday sales started like a week and a half ago? I was so confused.
It makes no sense.
I'm like, how can you call it a Black Friday sale if it starts like the second week in November? Is it still? Just call it a November sale at that point.
Basically, is the whole year Black Friday?
It doesn't make any sense.
But when I was younger, it was tradition that my mom and my grandmother and myself got up at 3 a.m. Mm-hmm. and we would bundle up and we would go to the stores, and it was so fun. Just spending time. I don't even think we bought much, but it was so fun just spending time with them and getting coffee together and all these things.
Being a part of the hustle and bustle.
And so I have these traditions, that we did. And I was talking to a friend recently, and this was a week ago. So, okay, this is November. Thanksgiving is next week. I was talking to them a week ago, and they're already panicked that they haven't gotten their Christmas shopping done. And legitimately was worried about not having enough time and all of these things that were coming up, and they've got this and they've got this and they've got this. And I said, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. It's not even December yet.
I heard this once. It said worrying is like wishing that something bad would happen. I know. And I was like, oh, that is so powerful.
Yes.
Because energy flows where your attention goes.
Energy flows where attention goes.
And so then you ultimately end up putting that energy into, focusing on this negative what if.
Yes.
And then when people are like, well, worst case scenario played out. And I'm like, well, all that you focused on for the last month was the worst case scenario. So of course it played out.
And here's what you don't understand, guys. And I wanted to highlight this. Your brain doesn't understand the difference between a real or an imagined event. Mm-hmm. So if you're thinking it, then it's actually sending alerts into your body that make you feel as if that's happening.
Yep.
So when you are in a panic mode about not having all of your Christmas shopping done, your brain is not focusing on the fact that it's still November. It's sending all of these messages to your body and actually causing you to stress out as if you were on Christmas and you don't have all of your presents.
So how did that feel? Mm-hmm. Was that fun?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
No.
Maybe let's focus on something else.
So I just recently, my daughter was very, very ill. She got a stomach bug that was straight out from Satan. Like that was straight from the pits of Hades, man.
It's like the exorcism.
Yeah, it was bad. Like it was a bad one. And this is my oldest. She's 16 and she rarely ever gets sick. And so this was the sickest I've ever seen her ever.
Bless her heart.
And that plays on your psyche as a mom because, you know, I'm taking care of her all night. So legitimately from like midnight until, you know, 7:30 the morning, I was up with her, you know, taking care of her. And so, you know, all of these things start hitting you. You're tired. You're, you know, you're sleep deprived.
Yep.
You're watching your baby. And even though she's 16, she's still my baby. You're watching your baby
And
miserable.
will be forever.
Yes.
She
It
will be your baby
Will be.
forever.
You know, they're hurting. They're in pain. They're so sick. And you just, all of these things start playing out in your mind. And then you start worrying, okay, my other kids, I don't want my other kids to get this. And, you know, what if I get this? And then, you know, we've got this coming up and we've got this coming up. And, you know, so it all starts playing in your mind. And that's what anxiety does. Anxiety throws you into a future event based on a past experience. So you start getting into this mode of anxiety.
What do they say? Anxiety is focusing on the future and depression is focusing on the past.
Yeah.
And when you're present, you're present.
You're present.
That's when you just get to enjoy being.
And that's why she said she's so excited about this podcast because once Aiden got better and I sent them to school, you know, after she got sick over the weekend. So this was, you know, that following week. I'm in her room, just kind of like getting dirty clothes, you know, and I pulled her blankets back because I was going to wash, you know, her sheets and everything. And this still small voice just hit me and said, what if it all works out? And I just stopped and my eyes kind of filled with tears for a second. And I said,
Well, yeah.
what if it all works out? I was like, God just spoke to my heart.
You're like,
what if it
hang
all
on.
works out?
Perhaps I have been asking the wrong question all along.
All along.
What
because
if it actually is amazing?
there is a flip side to that coin. And we tend to only focus on what could go wrong. But we don't understand on the flip side, what if it all goes right? What if everything works out? Because that possibility is still a possibility.
Yep.
That's still available to you.
Well, and our brains, they want to answer whatever question we ask.
Yes.
They just immediately go there. So we say to our brains, what if this bad thing happens? Then of course our brains run through the scenario of all the things that we could do if that bad thing happens. Okay, well, what if something amazing happens?
Yeah.
Then our brains go through all the scenarios of all the amazing things that could happen. And we can be in someplace completely different just by tweaking that question just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So it's the power, and that's what we're talking about, the power of what if it all works out? Because when we catastrophize everything,
Yep.
then it's throwing your body into the catastrophe mode.
Fight or flight.
Fight or flight. And then you are going to be reactive.
Yep.
To everything. You're going to feel the stress. You're going to lose the sleep. You're going to be upset, worry, anxious, all of those things, sick tummy, you know, that nervous tummy that
Anxious,
you get.
heartburn, indigestion,
Upset stomach, diarrhea. There you
wait,
go.
that's funny.
You're a Pepto. All of a sudden, you're a Pepto commercial.
I said anxious, but it's actually acid.
It's
heartburn, but I went anxious heartburn.
But you know what? It's a
what it
cause.
is.
That's what it is. So you immediately turn yourself into a Pepto-Bismol commercial. Really, you do. So whenever you stop after you do that, and we're not saying that you have to get to a point that you never, because instinctively we're human. So we're going to have those moments. But like Lauren said, it's so true. Go through it. You know, you walk through it, walk through those, but then immediately, what if it all works out?
Well, and it happens so quickly in our brains.
Yes.
You know, and so you might even walk through all the what if bad things before you even think about getting to the what if something amazing happens. And that's okay.
Do it.
Because you'll still get to the other side of it and then say, okay, I hear you, self. Yeah. I hear you, anxiety. You are talking and I hear that you are concerned. But what if it all works out?
What if it all works out?
What if we have the most amazing time? What if we get to our vacation and all of a sudden everyone feels great?
Yes.
And we're all sleeping really well and the beds are amazing and the people that we're with are just happy and having the best time? What if it's sunshiny?
Yeah.
What if we feel good?
Yeah.
Not what if we all get sunburned, but what if we all get to soak up some vitamin D and we all feel amazing?
So think about that when, right now, when you think about things that you have upcoming at work. What if it all works out? Mm-hmm. What if I get the raise? All for your good?
What if I get the promotion?
Yeah. What if you do have to work through that difficult issue, but you learn so much through it and you come out stronger on the other side? Mm-hmm. What if it's all for your good? Think about the holiday season.
Yeah.
What if you go to that family event and you love it? What if you have a great time? What if you really connect with your family? Or what if, because you have a what if it all works out mentality, that even when you go and you're met with some difficulty, because you've said there's a possibility of it being for your good, that now you're solution based. Mm-hmm. So maybe you don't let that comment penetrate you.
What if you were just present?
Yeah.
What if you went to that event with zero expectations?
Yes.
And as you were there, you could just experience everything as it came.
Things instead just roll off
instead of letting it trigger you. See the whole thing as like an experiment in social behavior.
Absolutely. What if it all worked out? Mm-hmm. Like that's so powerful.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It completely changes a whole situation.
Yes.
Any situation.
And seriously, try that for yourself. I don't recommend that you just go around now throwing it to people that didn't ask for it, because you might not be received extremely well.
But if someone is spiraling out and you say, well, what if it all worked out? Mm-hmm. Then you might get them thinking. So you don't need to tell them they're wrong for thinking the way they're thinking.
Please don't.
But if you just ask them, well, what if it works out? Yeah. And they can come back and say, it'll never work out. And you can say, well, yeah, probably not if you think like that. And that's okay.
But it's so good to, at least that way they'll get it talking, you know?
Because if you think you can or you think you can't, then you're right.
You're right.
And so if you think it'll work out or you think it won't, well, you're probably right.
But try it on yourself. You know, as you go out this week, as you prepare for the holidays, as you start stressing about the holidays, what if it all works out?
Yep.
What if it's not really about making sure that everyone's happy with their gifts? What if it's just about spending time with my loved ones? What if it's just about, like, what if it all works out? And what if we just spend time as a family and just really enjoy the gift of being together and of giving? What if?
I went to Mexico this last summer with my brother and we had what was supposed to be the best time, right? Mm-hmm. And we got very sick just a day into the trip. And we both had the best time. We were so sick. I was physically ill for 10 days. Ugh. So the whole time we were in Mexico, the plane ride back, the whole time I was visiting friends and family afterwards, like it was a lot of sickness. And we had the best time because I just set the mindset of anything that is suggested to me, I'll treat like an improv show.
Yeah.
Yes, and so my brother would say, do you want to go get some coconut water? And I was like, yes, and let's walk there. Or, like just, yes, and sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Do you want to just sit in the hammock and stare at the beach because I don't want to get too far from the bathroom?
Yes, I absolutely. And you know what? I think I'll read my book while I'm here. That sounds wonderful. And that's what being in the present allows you to do, to have the space to just Yes, I would love to. You know what? Yeah, let's give that a go and see what happens.
Yeah.
And it was the best trip. And I told him at one point, he's like, wow, we're just having the best time. And I said, yeah, I just decided at the beginning of this, it was going to be a yes trip. And he goes, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And I said, well, whatever came up, I was just going to say yes to. So I did some stuff that scared the crap out of me, but that's okay because I experienced it. And I was like, wow, all
Obviously,
right, I did that too.
You said yes to something your body didn't like.
You know what? I did that too. But you know what? I was so rested
You
by the end
still
of that
made
trip.
the best of it.
We were so rested. I read so many books. It was great.
Wonderful. But that's the mindset. That's what God, is talking about. That's the mindset. That's the true joy.
Yeah.
And when he spoke to, my spirit, when I was in my daughter's room, it completely changed me. Yeah. And I walked out and I said, yeah, what if it all works out? So what can I do right now? Well, right now I'm going to do some laundry.
Yeah. Let's get some of those germs out of the house.
Because I need some laundry. Clean, do some laundry, do some work. And I'm going to take it just a day at a time.
Yep.
Just a day at a time. I'm going to take it. And you know what? Whatever happens, happens. But what if it all works out? What if it's all fine? What if we're all okay?
Yeah. Even thinking about the worst case scenario. And sometimes I'll do that.
Yeah.
Not as a dreaded thing, but I'm like, okay, worst case scenario. You get
Work
on your
through
vacation.
it.
You get on your vacation. Everybody winds up having the stomach bug.
Yeah.
So then we all snuggle up together and watch movies together and just enjoy being together.
Yeah. And there's 3 bathrooms.
And there's 3 bathrooms. But there's something beautiful in that as well. So yes, if we all get sick, what if it ends up being great?
Yeah.
What if we all just enjoy that time together anyway?
Yeah. So, truly, it's the power of what if it all works out. So with that presentation that you have to give, that you're terrified of giving, what if it all works out? My friend who is putting herself out there, she's a fitness instructor, and she just said yes to hosting her first class. And
that's exciting.
She's terrified.
Oh, it's so fun.
Terrified. But I said, what if it all works out? What if it's just the greatest time?
She's going to love it.
She's going to love it. And, writing that book.
Yep.
What if it all works out? Dealing with that really difficult person, whether it be a family member, a coworker, a client. What if it all works out? I think the power of what if it all is for your good.
If you're having a difficult conversation or gearing up to have what it feels like might be a difficult conversation, if you go into it with that.
Yeah.
What if they're receptive? What if it all works out? Then their responses will be different because your delivery will be different.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, truly, because we started this saying that the mind, your brain can't tell the difference between a real and an imagined event. So then visualize it all working out. Like truly sit some time, get some quiet time, and actually with those difficult things or those things that you've got coming up that you're scared or nervous, anxious about, visualize it working out. What would that look like? What would you be saying? What would you be doing? What would be the best case scenario? And visualize that and watch how your body responds to that visualization.
It's going to feel good.
It's going to feel good.
Yep. Do you know Pollyanna?
I do. Yes, I know Pollyanna.
If you don't know Pollyanna,
you should watch that movie. Watch that movie.
Or read the book, both great. She plays the glad game.
Yeah.
And she makes some people really hostile.
Yes,
because she tries to turn so many things positive. But so often I feel like I'm Pollyanna.
Yeah.
Because
I think Dr. Amen that I follow, I'm pretty sure it's Dr. Amen.
Does he talk about Pollyanna?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
I missed that one.
It's someone that I follow that's big into mindset, that's like a neuroscientist. But
we'll have to see if we can find that link.
Everyone should watch Pollyanna.
Yep. Because she is the ultimate, she was maybe the original mindset encourager. because she plays the glad game. And the glad game is, no matter the situation, what can I find in this situation to be happy about?
And guess what? She does.
Every time. And she is always finding things. Does that mean she's always happy? No. But that means that she's always turning things for good.
Yeah. It's great for your kids too. Great for yourself, but it's great for your kids. Like, it's a great book. It's a great movie. Definitely. But I like that. Play the glad game. What if it's all for your kid?
Yeah. So this season, as you're headed to all of your events, and maybe you have a little dread of planned events, start thinking about, what if it all works out? What if it's all amazing? What if this is the best holiday season I've ever had? And then,
it could be.
Let us know.
Let us know.
Let us know how it works out for you. In what scenarios did you use what if it all works out? And how did that work for you? Thank you so much for coming today. We'll see you next time.